Survivor Specialist Phil and Will are back. We just did our cast assessment last week. We promised everybody we'd read comments because we have not been reading comments. So tonight we're going to be reading comments from the cast assessment. We're going to be reading comments from the worst players to ever make the finale. But most importantly, the prop bet game is back. We're bringing it back. We were excited about it. We were kind of mad we didn't do it last season. We're excited to bring it back. And tonight we're not placing our bets, but we're coming up with the 20 bets that you guys are going to get to partake in, and this will be the buff challenge. Forget the boot list. It's all about the prop bet game this year.
Yeah, I'm excited again because there was definitely a void for Koran where we had such a fun time making these bets and tracking them with the hashtags and episode titles and people doing funny things. And then just Koran, the boot list didn't provide the same amount of fun and entertainment as the prop bet game does. For anyone who doesn't know what the prop bet game is, there's a link in the description of our one for second chances. You can check that out. It's pretty much we come up with not funny, but like bets where you have to put each player for each bet. There's 20 bets each player wants, and you can weight your bets 1 to 3. So if you're really confident a bet is going to happen, you put 3 points on it, and then if it comes true, you get 3 points. If it doesn't, you get no points. That's a very brief rundown of it. It might sound confusing. It really isn't. We did have a lot of fun with it in Koran. So I think there are some bets. No, we had fun with it in second chances. There are some bets that we did not like that much in second chance. They were either hard to score or they didn't really happen. And it was like, why do we even have this as a bet? It was kind of a waste. So we hope to learn from that. And now we'll kind of go through which ones we want to keep, which ones we want to get rid of. And then if you have any ideas for bets as we're going through this or looking at second chances, if you have any ideas, let us know. Comment them. Because we'll have the 20 bets finalized. I think we're going to do this Wednesday, and then we'll go through, make our selections. You can make your selections on that. You got to be a subscriber to be eligible for a buff. I think we're going to do 2 buffs or 1 buff for every 50 entries. So hopefully maybe there'll be a lot of buffs. I don't know. So yeah, let's get into it. Anything else before we start, Phil?
No, I was just going to say Steel Punch already gave us, I think, 12 ideas. So yeah, if you want ideas, we're going to listen. We're going to post them on here. We'll talk about them. And because, there's obvious ones. Like I think the winner is like one that you have to do. We did it the last time. I feel like winner is important because like you should have to pick the winner in any type of thing. I mean, that's the ultimate goal of Survivor, as Will says in every podcast. So why would you not put it in the prop bet game?
It is the ultimate goal. I like how you say that as if I'm saying something silly. That is the ultimate goal. You're
not. I just want to make sure we're doing winner as one of the prop bets.
Of course it is. And that's the first one that we had. I'm looking at the list right now. Is there any thought to perhaps doubling this? Because it is the winner.
What do you mean doubling it?
Doubling the point value. See, if you put 3 on it and get it right, you get 6 points.
Is that just going to confuse everybody? And everybody's just going to put 3 on it then?
No, because it's very hard to do. It's 1 in 20. A lot of these bets, like more than one person can win them. So we have, win an individual immunity. We usually have 5 people winning that per season. That's out of a cast of 20. That's 1 in 4 people will win that, opposed to 1 in 20. So it's still a risk if you want to. I think the winner should be worth something more. Maybe not. It's just an idea.
I mean, it's an idea. I think we should go through these. I don't know. I mean, we have 2 days to think about it too, because we don't have to give the exact rules tonight. We just have to get the 20 props right, and we can, because you don't put your prop bet list on this video, not this video. Don't do it until Wednesday, because like Wednesday is gonna be what's important and when we do it. So don't put it on here.
Yeah, and if you know any spoilers or anything, don't play. Don't ruin anything.
Like Adam Klein, you cannot play.
No, he's already said he's not going to play. He's already won 2 buffs from us. Insane. We've only done buff challenges for 3 seasons. So to win 2 is pretty impressive.
Yeah. What else we got? I don't have the list in front of me. So if you got some that you want to point out or that you think are garbage, why did we even do those?
Yeah, sure. Let's see. Jumping around tabs here. Well, let's go with immunity. Do you think we should keep that one? If someone wins individual immunity, I think this is a good bet. I think it makes a lot of sense just because you can have multiple people win. I like bets where it's not just you're picking one person.
No, I think individual immunity is important, and I also think it's one of those, like, when we did it for Second Chance, Joe won so many individual immunities that, like, it actually did make it where less people won that bet. Because, like, if you didn't put Joe, there were only, like, 3 other people who might have won individual immunity that whole season. So, in, like, when
I think Keith, Tasha, Spencer.
Yeah, and then, like, when Mike did it, it was what? Mike won all of them except for 1 or 2? Like, once Joe was gone, Mike won the rest.
Yeah.
So I think that this is a fun one because it could be 7 people who get it, and it could be 1 person who gets it. And I think, like, that's, like, important to keep around in this thing, you know.
Okay. Yeah, well, let's lock that in. That's 2 that we now have for sure. Let's go to we'll garner a hashtag blindside after being voted out. That's a fun one. I think that's one we have to keep.
Yeah, because hashtag blindside gets so overused now. And, like, did they really use it that much last season, though? I don't think they really did.
In Co-Wrong? Was that, or in how many points did we give in Second Chance?
I don't know. I'm just trying to think last season because I know, like, in Worlds Apart they used it, like, every time. And then I think in, like, Second Chance they used it a lot. And then in, like, Co-Wrong I think they kind of backed off a bit. I could be completely making it up. I just don't remember it as much.
I don't know. Maybe you're numb to it and you see it and it just goes right through you.
It's become like the logo. Like, it's just there every episode. So you're just like, oh, okay. It's not going anywhere. Cool.
Whoa, a blindside.
Oh.
But yeah, that's a fun one.
Here, I'm going to do some. I'm going to read off Steel Punches real quick just to, like, kind of spice it up a bit and see if there's any that we think are cool. Can I do that?
Okay. Yeah,
cool?
go for it.
Let's do it. I mean, he's got 12 of them. So let's go. He's got.
I might hit all of them. Just saying, Steel Punch.
No, that's fine. Hey, that's why you put yourself out there like this. And you know, if you comment on our things, there's a very good chance that we could tell you you're wrong. But here's what he's got. One of them he's got, who will have a conversation with Jeff. And that would be every castaway because he's going to talk to every single person who gets voted out at Tribal Council before they get voted out. So that doesn't work.
That's not one we like.
That one does not work. The next one, who will mention someone from another tribe in a confessional?
Wait, say that again?
Who will mention someone from another tribe in a confessional? So, you know, like when, like back in Heroes versus Villains, when you mention Russell and you're on the other tribe.
That's just a lot to track. A lot of the reasons why we'll probably get rid of some of these is just like they have to be gradable. They have to be something that we can easily be like, oh, there it is. And I think eventually when you have tribe swaps and everything, everyone's going to talk about someone on there. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I don't think there's any really way to predict that. I don't know. Are you a fan of that one? I'm not really a fan either.
I think you're right. It's hard to track because them, like, I don't know. I don't know. That's definitely better than the other one. It could be in there, but I don't think we're going to end up using it. The next one he has is one that we used last time, which is we'll have an episode title named after their quote.
Well, yeah, we had that. That's each episode. I think every episode is now a quote. They've been doing that for a few seasons now, except maybe the premiere or the finale.
So we're going to do that one then.
We'll keep that one in. Yeah, I like that
one. Okay, next we would have hang on, I just lost it for some reason. So that one we're doing. The next one will be a jury member. Do we keep the jury member one or no?
I don't think we had that. Let me check. I don't think we did. I think because we had the immunity or something. No, we had jury. That was our 5th one, actually. So, yeah.
I mean, do we keep it?
I don't know. We'll have to talk about that one. It depends on how many good suggestions we get also. I think we'll definitely have a list of, like, half in, half out, where if we get a really good suggestion from a commenter. I mean, last time we did this, a commenter suggested we'll catch a bag of buffs, and we really liked that one. It ended up not happening. Jeff never tossed a bag of buffs the entire.
Does that make its way back into this season?
See, I don't know. I don't think we want to go back to it, except I know if we take it out, Jeff is going to be tossing bags of buffs left and right. The only reason why I definitely think we should not have it in is because it might be a part of the show that's just gone because they just want to speed it up. And at a tribe swap, there'd be so much time like breaking up the tribes and everything. And now it's just like, all right, boom, they just cut and we have 2 tribes on 2 mats or 3 tribes on 3 mats or something like that. And they just it's just all about getting as much content into the show. You have advertising taking up more time than it did in earlier seasons, so they got to really pack it in. So we might not ever see a bag of Buscott again. I doubt that's the case, but I think we should not have it.
Really making me reminiscent for something that I never thought I'd care about.
Right, exactly. You don't even realize these things.
Exactly. All right, so next it would be we'll have less than 5 votes against them. And this one I liked because we had the less than 5 votes against them.
I thought you said Steel Punch was like coming up with 12 bets. These are
I know. Well, okay.
We did last time.
I know. And I'm just reading off his comments. So, okay, let me see if there's one. Because I remember exactly what we did. We definitely did that.
Punch is now stealing our bets.
He's stealing our bets. Okay, what about this one I know we didn't do. He said we'll mention the location, Fiji. So, like, he's saying we'll mention the location, like when you give that speech about we're out here in Mother Fiji. Do you think we put that in?
That's interesting. I think that's borderline because that could be one of those things we don't even realize that everyone says the location throughout.
I like this one.
It's interesting.
I really like it.
I think we keep it kind of on the back burner for now. We'll see what we need.
Okay, but I think we're going to end up putting that one in because I think, like, not everybody says it, but, like, you get those random things where, like, the people just try to milk it so that they can get more screen time because they're playing up the location or the theme or something like that. So, I like that one.
Yeah, theme. We got to maybe take into account theme for this season.
True. Let me see here. Yeah, I think the only other one that he has that we didn't do was we'll wear someone else's clothing.
That's tough. I think we might end up getting people like proving that someone has someone's socks on with screenshots and stuff. And I get what he's saying. Like if someone wears someone's hat or maybe a sweatshirt or t-shirt of someone else's, I don't really know, but I kind of get it where it's coming from. Again, that's a little bit hard to grade.
I agree because I think like you could get like you're going to get people who are using screenshots that don't even happen in the episode. And like, look, this was in a deleted scene, and it's like, yeah, but that wasn't actually on the show, and like, I feel like that's going to end up happening.
It's a lot of work. We're pretty lazy, and we're busy, which you wouldn't think. We're lazy people and busy people. We don't want to do any more work than we have to. So to go and track everyone's clothing doesn't sound enjoyable to me. It might to you, Phil, but that's not something I want to do.
No, not really the most fun. But I do think back to ones that he used that we also have. I think that the less than 5 and more than 10 have to come back again.
Oh, right. Yeah. I'm totally in agreement for both those.
Yeah. That's less than 5 votes against and more than 10 votes against. And the finale does not count. Like not the finale, the final tribal does not count. So if you get 10 votes at the end, that doesn't count.
And it is including votes negated by idols, right?
Yes.
Okay, so even if you get 10 votes against you at the merge and you play an idol, that's 10 votes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that.
We had successfully play an idol.
Well, Steel Punch changed and said successfully play an advantage. Do you think it's better to just make it the overarching advantage? This way you don't have to do like more about idols and whatever other advantage Jeff's going to come up with, and instead you just kind of make it one thing?
Yeah, I don't know. But like, if you're talking about the double vote or the vote steal, even if you get voted out with it, you still play it successfully. Like the votes end up counting. The thing with the idol is, if you play it and you don't get any votes, it's like pretty much unsuccessful. But
I would say what Steven did was pretty unsuccessful.
Yeah, no, of course. Both times the double vote / vote steal has been used. It's been unsuccessful, but played an advantage. Like you still play it. I don't know. We had 2 idol ones last time. I think we should probably knock that down to 1. Maybe just find an idol. Like playing an idol, I don't know. It's a lot to predict.
So you just want to do find an idol?
Preferably.
I mean, I'm fine with it because, I mean, finding an idol is hard enough.
Yeah, and if we're running out of like bets and we only have 15, we're like, oh man, we have no bets. Let's get more. We can always pull back, play idle successfully.
Yeah.
But that's definitely a tough one to predict.
All right, what else you got?
So we're taking out Bag of Buffs. That's not gonna be here. We'll mention the name Boston Rob or Russell.
I think that if you narrow that down to we'll mention a player from a previous season, you could get away with it. Because they always mention players from a previous season at this point.
Yeah, because we'll mention the name Sander Parvati and Boston Rob Russell are two separate bets. In Second Chance, no one mentioned any of those four names, believe it or not. So I don't think we should continue with those bets. So mention in previous player's name.
Yeah. Because you know that you're going to get like somebody who says Parvati or Rupert or Russell or something.
We're gonna have to take this bet out for next season because everybody will be a returning player.
Yeah, which won't be any fun. Right. What else, man? What else we got?
Okay. We'll get the most confessionals in the premiere. This was the only one based on just the premiere, just one episode of the show.
I think this one was fun because didn't Jen have the most confessionals and like nobody put that? Or was it Caroline?
What? It was Jen. It was Kelly Wentworth.
Oh, I'm thinking Worlds Apart. I'm sorry. Yeah, it was Kelly Wentworth. That's right. I'm thinking the season before it was also a woman, and then it was Caroline the next season. Or Kelly Wentworth the next season. So Kelly Wentworth had the most, and I don't think anybody put Kelly Wentworth. I think there was one person.
Well, it was kind of funny just because Kelly Wentworth was like such a minimal player on her original season. And for her to get the most was, I don't know, no one really had that predicted. But here it could be anybody. So I think it's just totally up in the air about who's going to get the most. I'm down to keep it.
I think you keep it. It's a fun one. I mean, we only have one that you lose after the first episode. And I think that should be it because that's like a fun that, who's going to get the most screen time. Predict the air hog this season,
Well, Carolyn didn't really go on to be an air hog after Worlds Apart. She had like 13 confessionals in the premiere or something.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. We'll be blindfolded at some point during a challenge. I like this one.
You think they're going to do a blindfold challenge this season?
I think it was about like maybe out of Second Chance, I think it was like 8 or 9 people.
Yeah, I know.
It was a good amount. It was a nice.
Monica wasn't one of them. She sat out, and I remember putting Monica, and instead she sat out. You there, big guy? Well,
Monica will sit out.
Oh, I just completely lost you.
I'm saying you have to take that into account with Monica. That's someone who likely would sit out a challenge. She's not a strong physical player.
Yeah, that's why you just hope that she would get blindfolded.
Yeah, or sit out. That can happen.
Keep the blindfold. That's fine.
Okay, so I think that's about halfway through. Do you want to maybe get into some comments about the worst players ever to make the finale? Because we did promise we would read those.
Yeah, I think we should just because we didn't and we lied to everyone yet so far.
We didn't lie,
this is it.
Yet.
What's her name? Gamer Girl, this is like your dream come true. We're actually going to read all these comments. If you didn't check out our worst players to make the finale episodes, you should. Because me and Will don't
yelled
agree
at each other.
What?
Yeah. We just yelled at each other the whole time.
Like the first 20 minutes is like the two of us in like a bar fight. It's fun. It's really entertaining. So I'll go to the bottom, and if you're not familiar with this, then go ahead and skip to the next point. Will, can you put like a little thing in there so like people know where to go to, like for the rest of the prop bets? Are you able to do that? Drop a pin or something? All right, cool. I lost you again. I don't know. Your internet's going in and out. Or maybe mine is. One of our internets is going in and out because you're not moving or breathing or saying anything. Anyway, so the worst players to make the finale, if Will's talking right now, I apologize. Giovanni Oriana. Could you hear anything I just said or no?
Yeah, I'm listening. Read the damn comments.
I just don't get it because you don't move, and I don't know if you're alive, and I feel awful. Okay. Giovanni Oriana. I feel like Kim J wasn't going to win it all. Lex, Tom, and Ethan would have beaten her, but she's not that bad compared to other people who reached the finale. Well, if you listen to this podcast, everyone, Kim J actually did not make our bottom 20 people.
There you go.
Shocking.
I don't think it's that shocking. I don't think she's that bad. I agree with Giovanni here. But we both had her very, very low on our list, thus she did not make the top 20.
Yes. Brian Johnson. I wanted to say something about Sugar. I know a lot of people say Sugar had a horrible final Tribal Council performance, but I think she played a great game, better than Bob and Susie. I also think she was robbed on Heroes versus Villains. Do you think Sugar could have won Gabon? I mean, clearly no, she couldn't have won Gabon. I think she played a fine game before that. She just played with her heart the entire time. She made that season really interesting. I don't care what Will says. She made that season super, super interesting.
I never have said she didn't make it interesting, but there's no argument saying, could she have won Gabon? You only ask that question when the player doesn't make the final Tribal Council. So when Sugar makes it and goes and gets 0 votes, it's pretty good evidence that she couldn't have won with the game she was playing. And I think she is definitely one of the worst players because she cries the whole time and it irritates people and people don't take her seriously. And it's not a good way to play the game.
Dope. I mean, quick aside real quick. How about the fact that Inside Survivor put Maddie as one of the worst 4th place finishers of all time? How do you feel about that?
I'm a huge fan of Maddie, and if he gets to the final 3 against any combination of Susie, Bob, and Sugar, he easily wins the $1 million. So I don't know how they came to that conclusion.
Yeah. Yeah, it was awful. That list was dumb. Giovanni Oriana, Eliza is infuriating, not just on Survivor, but on social media as well. As Eliza is more game aware, but Denise probably would have gotten a jury vote from Jean Robert. True. Could have gotten a jury vote.
It's not about getting one jury vote anywhere. It's about getting enough to win the game, and Eliza can never, ever do that.
Eliza's a better player than you're giving her credit for, but she's an annoying person. Don't like her. Typical Clark, Heyo, cool. Ween Dog 2, Will Worlds Apart. Yes, he's on our list. We both had him pretty high up there. He's definitely on that list. Giovanni Oriana, I forgot about Sundra. She's forgettable. I think Becky was pretty forgettable as well. She should be on this list. And we both had, I think, Will, you admitted you forgot about somebody, one of those two, right? Was that what you did?
Yeah. No, I think I just completely forgot.
Which, yeah. Kyle Roberts, Becky would have actually gotten votes if she had made fire faster. Candace confirmed that. Becky is one of the most underrated finalists who actually made a lot of decisions between her and Yule, but Yule's always the friendlier of the two. Yeah, Becky was awful. She was not underrated.
I see the argument that Becky is better than Sundra, but I still don't think she's I didn't put Becky in my list as one of the worst players to make a finale, but she's definitely not one of the best either.
Gamer Girl 2330, Adam was worse. Giovanni Oriana, oh good God, I forgot how much I hate Adam, especially on a rewatch. I like Adam. I thought Adam was funny. Anybody who's ever played Ratchet and Clank, he's Captain Quark.
Adam from Pearl Islands?
No, Adam from Cook Islands.
Oh, Cook Islands. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Mixing up the islands. Yeah, I liked Adam. What's wrong with that? I mean, he wasn't the best person or best guy, but he was entertaining TV.
He was a bro. I love that guy. He was so funny.
Yeah.
He was so funny. He just had that stupid smile. I'm telling you, go look up Captain Quark if you're not familiar with it, and then look up a picture of Adam. Same person. Bennett Golad. Honestly, I think Matt was worse. He was good in redemption duels, horrible in strategy. Also, after winning however many duels, he couldn't win immunity. Philip was bad, but he had good strategy in Caramoan, while Matt just had long, flowing blonde hair. Anybody who doesn't understand that comment right there, go listen to our podcast. I actually make a case why Matt Elrod's the worst player to ever make a finale. And I'm so right. What was that?
No, it's all spoiled. What was this about Philip having good strategy in Caramoan? Did we watch the same show? I mean, he literally...
No, he did make Brandon Hance go crazy.
Yeah, he drove people crazy. He bullied people, gave them nicknames that meant nothing, and someone literally wasted 2 idols just to kick him off the game because he was so annoying. Tell me in what world is that good strategy? I want to know.
Hey, man. Hey, I didn't say it. Tori
We are
Cosgrove.
the best thing Philip has done is help us in the name of our podcast, Survivor Specialist. I mean, that's
Yeah.
all on Philip. So maybe I do need to give him a little bit of credit.
Yeah. Tori Cosgrove, Will's logic, Darnell would be greater than Eliza. I feel like Will's method of the higher chance you have to win the game makes you a better player is too extreme. I mean, he's saying Denise is a higher chance to win than Eliza because she's a lunch lady. While this is true, saying that somebody's a better player largely based on their profession, personality outside of the game is not a good way of looking at things, in my opinion.
Well,
And I agree.
Well, not solely based on profession, but she said personality outside of the game. Whatever your personality is outside of the game, that's going to come with you on the island. It's not like you're going and playing with cards or chess pieces. Like, you're playing as a person. So your personality outside the game is hugely influential on how good of a player you are. And when you bring up that Darnell example, I completely agree. I think Darnell is probably a better player than Eliza. I mean, you made the argument during Co-Wrong, and I made this argument in our cast assessment that there are people. We were talking about Michaela. What is it, Bradshaw? I don't know. Michaela of the upcoming season. I think there's a chance she suffers that on the wrong tribe, where she's not a millennial, but she's on the millennial tribe, and that she might become kind of the odd one out over on that side. Where Darnell, he wasn't Braun. He was placed in the Braun tribe when he wasn't at all a Braun, and he's the first person voted out of this game. I mean, is that luck? If he's on beauty, does he do better? Probably. I mean, what I'm saying is Darnell, at least, I didn't get to see a lot from him, but there's a chance he's a better player than Eliza. Eliza's terrible. We know that. It's the devil you know versus the devil you don't know. We know Eliza's terrible.
But you did put way too much emphasis because you didn't even put Jan or Scout on your list because they were old women and you thought that meant they had a chance to win. So you did put too much emphasis on outside factors. That's like saying every time an old person makes a finale they win, and we just saw it in Co-Wrong where what's his name wouldn't have gotten a vote. I can't even remember his name. What's the old guy's name? Joe. Wouldn't have even gotten a vote.
I put Lil as number 2, so I don't know. It wasn't automatically if you're old and you're a woman that I'm going to put you off my list. No, I had Lil at number 2.
Lil also got voted out.
Right. In Jan and Scott, I said this on the podcast. I don't remember them that well, but I give them, kind of a better benefit of the doubt because, I mean, again, say it all the time, you are giving someone $1 million. That's a decision that people take very seriously and have all their biases and prejudices involved in that decision. So, again, is Eliza better at strategy? Absolutely. She's not a better player than almost anyone.
I'll just rip through these last 3 comments since you already made your speech, and I don't want you to defend yourself. But Giovanni Rihanna, Eliza sucks. She's not a good player. Tori Cosgrove, oh, I know, but the fact that Will considers Denise a better player because she's a lunch lady and people would vote for her is ridiculous. Giovanni Rihanna, well, let's look at this. Who's voting for Eliza over Chris, and who's voting for Denise over Courtney and Amanda? I don't know what the point is of that because neither one is getting votes in that situation.
The point might be that Denise actually would get more votes against Courtney, Todd, or Amanda or someone.
Well, if we're comparing, would Denise get more votes over the second place and third place person, or would Eliza get more votes over the winner? That's not fair. Why didn't you put Todd in there? Because Denise would get 0 votes over Todd.
It doesn't make sense. But again, the point is, it's not strictly because Denise was a lunch lady. It's lunch lady, check. You're not on my list. No, it's a combination of things and where she was positioned in the game, and we got way into it. But it's a combination of items on categories of what a player has. So lunch lady definitely helps, but it's not an overruling decision.
LJ and Krabby, I've watched every season from Samoa to Co-Wrong, so I'll list the worst finalists from each season. Mick, Colby, Dan, Philip, Rick, Alicia, Lisa, Sherry, Monica, Woo, Missy, Will, Tasha, Michelle. She isn't bad. I was just rooting for Aubrey, Sid, and Ty a lot more than I was for her. LJ and Krabby, you have been shunned. You are sent to timeout. Never comment. Michelle.
You can't throw Michelle under the bus like that with my boy Phil here.
Especially when she won the damn game. Gideon Gideon Powers, Abby, and Katie from Palau both could be in the top 10. Also, Sherry. Did Abby ever make a finale? I don't think she ever made a finale.
Yeah, I don't think she did. She definitely would have been on our list if she had.
Katie from Palau, we definitely forgot.
No, we talked about her. We have our reasons.
Gamer Girl 2330, Massachusetts, Massachusetts, that's where Denise is from. It's easy for me to remember because that's where I'm from. Also, Phil, I recently rewatched China, and there is a very small, very, very small Denise fan base. Otherwise, she wouldn't have made the runner-up for the fan favorite prize. So that's a cool little tidbit there. But Rupert also won fan favorite, and all of the survivors don't like Rupert.
And Sugar won fan favorite, I think.
Yeah.
And all the survivors didn't like Sugar. I'm not saying that will tell you either way. I'm saying it doesn't provide any information at all. So I don't think it's, in opposition to my argument. It just doesn't help it.
The real Negro, James, actually said he was attracted to Denise because she was a hard worker. I forgot about that, but that did happen. She is a hard worker. Gamer Girl 2330. Now for the ones on your list I highly disagree with on this video. Made me angry, so I'm not going to like it. I look forward when you eventually get to my questions. Never do a worse list ever again. 1, Lydia. 2, Matt Elrod. 3, Matthew from Amazon. 4, Grant. 5, Sundra. 6, Christina Cha. I would get into why I disagree with you guys, but Matthew from Amazon would have the only good, understandable explanation. I'm shocked that Adam or Sherry didn't make your lists. How could you say Lydia and we didn't put Grant on the list. Grant wasn't in on it.
Yeah, Grant was not on the list.
Christina Cha, you cannot make any type of argument for Christina Cha.
And she disagrees with your number 1, so...
Yeah, I mean, Matt Elrod's the worst because he literally played Survivor for 2 days. Let's see. Jason Obermeyer. I know he didn't make the finale, but Dan from Worlds Apart needs an honorable mention because he did nothing and had no chance of winning, one of the biggest GOATs ever. I mean, Will was the worst version of Dan, and that's why Will was sitting in the finale, and that's why he's on our list.
Yeah, that's right.
The real Negro, I feel like Albert from South Pacific is defiantly a top 10 worst player to make the finale. I think trying to play the game and failing miserably at it is worse than, say, Denise, who worked hard at camp, was a team player, unlike Albert, who pissed off his alliance and did nothing at camp.
Yeah, Albert was tough because he didn't really do anything that badly, and he was kind of in the majority throughout the game. So I got to give him at least a little bit of credit there. People didn't
Sophie
hate
just
him.
Played him.
Yeah, people didn't love the guy. People didn't hate the guy though. I don't think he's, I don't think he's top 20 worst. He's definitely not one of the best.
Yeah. The real Negro again. I know this is off topic, but what are your thoughts on Eric giving up immunity in Micronesia? I just rewatched the season after watching Eric's boot episode. I realized it wasn't such a dumb move. The women made Eric feel like a complete ass at tribal council, especially Amanda calling him out in front of the jury. Don't think it was such a dumb move. I feel like it was good that just he got played by players who'd played the game before. I've talked about move. Yeah, it's a dumb move, but Eric's a very underrated player. I've talked about that a lot. He played a fantastic game, except for that move. He played fantastic both times, except for that move.
Right.
Jason Obermeyer, you guys should do a podcast of the top 10 best Final Tribal Council performances, non-winners included, and worst Final Tribal Council performances, winners included.
That could be fun.
That could be fun. Tim McCormick, stop fighting, stop it. Yes. Anthony Beam, sorry, Will, but as usual, I agree with Phil. Matt Elrod was worst of all time. See, at least one person agrees with me because I think he might actually be the only one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's the craziest thing to say. You definitely kind of slipped my list there, because I try to forget about Redemption Island. But Philip is no one's giving that guy $1 million. It's just
I'd give him $1 million just to spite you. Gamer Girl 2330, Lil didn't convince them to vote her back in. This is what I've heard. I think it's just a rumor. The Outcast tribe hated Lil so much at Ponderosa, whatever it was called back then, the Ponderosa for the pre-jurors, that's why they voted her back in. And then Giovanni says, I heard that too on the Evolution of Strategy. Gamer Girl says, I heard it one of the Survivor Facebook groups. I mean, I don't remember which Survivor Facebook group it was or who said it, but believe them, it totally makes sense.
It makes really a lot of sense.
That's really funny if that's the reason. They just didn't want to hang out.
Yeah.
Gamer Girl then posts her list. Unlike most people, I like going season by season. So she puts her worst from each season. Also forgot that Joe didn't make the finale because she had said that. She did put Brandon in there. And who was her worst? I just want to see. From Samoa, she put Jason, which I disagree with. I think there's – or not Jason, not Samoa. Why am I looking at Samoa? I want to look at Redemption Island. Natalie. Natalie sucked, but there were worse.
She was 19.
Yeah. Anthony Beam, another off-topic question. Cool. We're just killing it with these. Anyone else want to see the winners from two of the worst seasons ever come back? Fabio and Kim Spradlin. Fabio because it a fluke, and Kim because is she really that good because she was surrounded by morons. I think those are two people that are never going to come back, and we're never going to find out.
I don't know. I think if we get all winners season, which definitely, I mean, I'm hopeful it can happen. If the show stays on the air, we will have enough winners to do it. And Fabio is one of the youngest. He is the youngest person to win the game. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. And he'll be around. And then Kim is one of the better players. And if she's going to come back, it's going to have to be in a winter season. She probably won't come back if it's just like a game changer season or something like that.
Yeah. Doesn't she have like a bunch of kids now too, or like multiple kids?
Wouldn't surprise me.
Isaac Escobar, I'm with Phil. I like that. Isaac Escobar, you can't do hypothetical because you're basing it on the season they were on. Zachary Chung, Kim Johnson's a good player. I don't get why she would make any list of bad players. That's it for the worst players to ever make the finale. We went through all of them. We did.
Great. I'm glad we don't have to have that hanging over us. Not that it was, but it could have been.
Yeah. Way to save yourself on that one, Will. Fantastic. All right, man. What are our last 10 prop? What do we have right now for prop bets? We have winner, individual immunity, hashtag blindside, episode title quote, less than 5 votes against, including negated votes, more than 10 votes against, including negated votes, find an idol, mention a player from a previous season, most confessionals in the premiere, and will be blindfolded at a challenge.
Yeah, I have those exact 10. So we're on the same page. I had them in that order as well. Well, let's see where we left off. We'll give a reward to another castaway, not including getting something for the entire tribe. That did not happen, I believe.
No, but I think we put it in because it happened so much in San Juan del Sur, and then it happened again in Worlds Apart, that I think we were like, we should put this in, and then none of those players gave anything up.
Well, maybe I don't think it happened in Korong, did it? I think maybe that era of like, oh, let me just give you my rewards, we can all be friends and everything. That era might be over.
San Juan del Sur sucks. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we keep that one.
I don't like it. I'm not really in the mood. I think we can do better. High hopes.
Next.
We have we'll give Jeff Probst a hug.
I love that one.
The live reading of the votes of the reunion show. This is one where I almost want to say we double. Just because it didn't happen last time, but when it does and someone hits it, I think they deserve a lot of credit. Just for some of these ones that are very tough to get, like it's 1 in 20 or maybe 0 in 20, because for the winner in Jeff Probst hugging, that people are going to put 1 point on those each, or at least you'd think so. Because you just can't be that confident in either one of those. But if we double it and have a little bit more risk reward, I think that could be fun.
I think that could be fun. I'm starting to agree with you a little bit on that. I like the gives Jeff a hug. You got to keep that in because that's just funny. I remember we both thought Varner was going to do it. We were both so disappointed he didn't. But he's good. He could be on season 34 doing it. So there's still hope for Varner to hug Jeff Probst.
Yeah. Let's keep that one in.
Go ahead. Keep rolling.
Bag of buffs we're getting rid of. We'll step down or not participate in the immunity challenge. I wanted to make sure you stayed on screen for when you sneezed. We could keep that one. That did not happen though, I don't believe. So honestly, with like 10 bets that just didn't happen.
Yeah, but I think this is one that does happen. Somebody steps down for food or something. It could happen. And these are newbies. These aren't returning players who have nothing to like. Jeff Varner's never going to step down for peanut butter because he already did it once. But Zeke could step down for peanut butter. Like, why not?
Okay, step down for food, an individual immunity. It's just very specific, and that's kind of my issue with it.
Well, why don't we just do step down for food or not participate in any challenge, in any individual challenge?
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I think that's fine because you get the one where they all go when they sit down and eat, and then you get 2 people competing. All right, what's next? Keep rolling.
We'll have an episode with 10 or more confessionals. I think Steven Fishbach hit this, and I successfully got that one, I remember. It's probably why I remember it. And I think someone else hit it too. I think like maybe Savage hit it. I don't know. Someone,
I think Wentworth hit it. I think
someone
Savage
there
hit
on
it.
that Angkor beach when they were really just eating up screen time, I think.
It was definitely Savage.
Yeah.
I think we keep that one.
Yeah, I like that one. 10 plus confessionals in an episode.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Now we are on to, we said we'll find an idol. We have that one already. Will be quoted in a hashtag. We said last time a new hashtag, Chaos Cast, would not count because it wouldn't be new. That we're doing with returning players. We don't need to have that stipulation here, so we'll be quoted in a hashtag.
I like it because this is a good personality one. You know.
Yeah.
Like, because we don't know these personalities, like, this will be a fun, who's actually going to, you know, who can predict what these personalities are going to be like.
Right.
I like this one.
We had will cry while still in the game. Final words do not count. I don't like this one.
Yeah, because we couldn't figure out when people were crying last time.
It was I was like watching replays. I was rewatching the episode and like pausing and taking screenshots of people's faces and sending them to Phil. Like, does that look like a tear? And it was difficult. So I don't think we keep this one.
Yeah. No, I don't think we need to. We do have 6 left, though, that we need to get. So what else you got?
We'll have an episode title come from his or her quote. I think that is a brilliant one.
We already have that in, though. That was at like number 4. We already put that because Giovanni had mentioned it.
Okay. Well, that brings me to 15.
No, that one we already put in at number 4.
I have hashtag blindside at number 4.
Winner, individual immunity, hashtag blindside, episode title, quote, less than 5, more than 10, find an idol, mention
Jury.
a player from
It's
previous
jury.
season.
You don't have jury on there.
Oh, well, when we went through them before, you said that's exactly what you have. We're on the same page. Clearly, we weren't.
It sounded like it. I don't know.
Oh, so we're keeping jury. We're keeping jury?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's 15. So we have room for now 5 prop bets that hopefully the listeners will come up with if people listen to this. If not, we're going to have to pull from last time or come up with new ones ourselves. Do you have any ones that maybe you came up with in the off seasons or wrong?
If I say no, does that make me a bad podcaster?
Well, I kind of put you on the spot there, so I'm not going to answer that.
Well, I guess that makes me a bad podcaster. I mean, I didn't come up with any because, like, we came up with the most basic ones. Like, so give us something interesting. I mean, I know you only have really tomorrow and all day Wednesday to comment because we're going to do this podcast on Wednesday night. Me and Will like come up with 5 average ones. And, I mean, we're willing to use really good ones. Like, comment on here and give us some really good ones.
Yeah.
Like Giovanni had the one, mention a player from the previous season. That's a good one. Like, I like that one. Like, a lot.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. Well, that wraps up the prop bet part of this game, unless we have any suggestions now. I don't think we have many comments currently.
Oh, Tara Stacy says good game guys when they're voted out or participates in a showmance.
Showmance is a little vague. I like the voted out, though. Like, what do they do when they get voted out? I kind of like that.
So she says good game guys.
Good game guys is a little specific.
What if we make it doesn't say anything when they're voted out? Because most people nowadays will like have a comment.
Just walks up and
grabs their torch,
walks up to Jeff, right?
And that's it.
And says nothing to Jeff either.
Well, you could say something to Jeff, but he doesn't say anything to the players because, like, if you look at it, like a lot of times, like people, like when they get blindsided, they won't say a word. They'll just get up after they're voted out and give the thing over. Like Scott Pollard, I think he said to Ty, "Hey, are you giving me the idol? You're not going to do it." And once Ty said, "I'm not doing it," and Scott was officially out of the game, Scott didn't say a word.
Right. Okay. I like this one. So silence when after being voted out, saying something to Jeff like thanks or I don't know. Do we because I think the people who stay silent to their tribe also stay silent to Jeff. So it might not matter, but let's keep it a tribe just because It'll be easier to score.
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with whispers and murmurs.
And it has to be after they're voted out. Like if it's like, oh God, I've gotten 4 votes, I'm screwed. It has to be after Jeff says that whatever person voted out of the game is blank, you're out.
Yeah, no hugs. What if they hug, but we don't hear them say a word? Like that doesn't count.
Yeah, I don't think that counts.
So we have to say silence, or how about goes straight to Jeff without saying a word.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. I like that. Straight to Jeff without saying a word. I like that.
All right. With any other tweets, comments that we can kind of pull from like we did? Thank you. Who's that? Tara Stacy, you said?
Tara Stacy. Head of House Ho. She's our biggest fan on Twitter right now. I think. Yeah. Great. So we'll take that. No, so we have 4 left. Do you want to read some of the comments from the cast assessment, or how do you want to do this? Do you want to do just a few?
Yeah, let's read the good ones.
Because we haven't really gotten to talk about the cast this episode because we're kind of talking around the cast. So
yeah, let's go. Let's talk some cast.
Let's talk some cast, huh? Let me see. I want to make sure that we don't double up here. This is a good point brought up by Gamer Girl, and I'm not sure if I said it in the last one. I don't think I did, but she said the way Survivor divided it makes no sense because according to Google Millennials are 1981 to 1997, and Gen X is 1965 to 1980. So they didn't actually divide it based on who's a millennial and who's a Gen X.
But those definitions, I'm pretty sure they give time periods of like 8 to 10 years for the early date, and then 8 to 10 years for like the end date. Like the generations are never set in stone by people who deal in demographics. Like it's always very, very loose. Always.
Okay.
It's more loose than the definition of brain, brawn versus beauty. I can tell you that.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm just saying, it is a good point because they try to do their little thing. Let's see. Tara Stacy says Rachel is her first boot prediction, and Adam Klein gave us his speech about how it really is him.
It is Adam Klein.
It is Adam Klein. It is the real Adam Klein. That got 10 likes. That gets like more likes than our videos get. Is him making that comment, which is well earned because what he did is a lot cooler than our videos.
Yeah, he won 2 buffs from us. That's the coolest. That's his best achievement he's ever had
in his life.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, yeah, it seems like he does a lot for charity, but he won 2 buffs. What's better?
Okay, I have Gen X right here, okay? It says demographicers and researchers typically use starting birth years ranging from the early to mid-1960s. Okay, so that's 5 or 6 years right there if you're going from like 9. That honestly could be 1960 to 1967. So that's 7 years when they say that. And then ending birth years range from the late 1970s, which could be 77, 78, 79. Okay, that's 3 years. And then to early 1980s, which that can go 80, 81, 82, 83. So that's 6 years. So, I mean, they're very broad.
Yeah, that's whatever. I just like complaining because Gen X versus Millennials sounds dumb. Even though I do
sounds stupid. Oh, I can agree there. It's a very silly way to just say old versus young, but there is at least kind of a theme.
Kyle Roberts, I do disagree with your assessments of Taylor and Jay. For me, I get the opposite vibe. Jay seems like he's more likely to fill the douche role, and Taylor seems like he's going to have an easier time fitting in with people. I don't see Jay as the last guy standing. You don't call yourself super charming and then say you're extremely humbled. He contradicted himself right off the bat. I mean, I'm very humble, but I'm charming. So I don't know.
There you go. That's why Phil likes Jay over there. We haven't talked about this at all. In the Korong finale, they showed players from this season who got little snippets. I don't know when they've done that before. I don't think they have. Did they do it for Korong? I don't think they did.
No, I don't think so. I think this is the first time ever.
So yeah, we got, I think, maybe 5.
Oh no, they did because we saw Jason. He had the shoulder burn.
Right.
They
started,
but they did show him.
They started doing it for Korong. I guess we'll have to go back and rewatch Korong and see if we can pick up any clues on how they pick these players. I'm sure just kind of like the big players of the season, I would imagine. But I think Chris was in there. Zeke was definitely in there. Taylor was in there a lot. I was going to bring that. He was in there a good amount. I forget who all was in there. I think the video game girl, Mary, was in there. So, I don't know. We might have to look into that.
We might. Kyle Stone, this season is going to be great so long as they stay away from the religion talk. I'm not sure who I'm going to be rooting for because I like majority of this cast, but Jay definitely seemed very interesting to me. I definitely prefer the Millennial tribe. Yeah, I hope they don't make this all about religion because that would suck.
Yeah, I don't think it will. I think we have this whole contrived Millennial versus Gen X battle, so that will take up most of the theme stuff. South Pacific, there was no theme, so that kind of filled that void. True. But it's hard to say who you're rooting for until the game gets going. Obviously, Phil and I will have people on our fantasy team, and we disagree, and we like to be right, and we can argue with each other. But most of the times when I watch Survivor season, it's like, all right, let's see the first episode. Oh, I like what they're doing. Wait for a couple episodes. Then by episode 3 or 4, you have someone that you're really, all the way behind.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point. Yeah, it's so hard to predict beforehand. I think the only time I've ever liked the person from beginning to the end was Michelle. Nate, ! I like Adam, Michaela, and Mary. The Gamer Girl 2330, Will Wall says he's going to use religion to advance in the game as long as Christianity isn't in that mix. Now I'm mixed on him. They're starting to run out of themes. Maybe Jeff should watch my intros. If this is indeed the case. Will, have you watched Gamer Girl's intros yet?
I have.
There you go.
Not since the last time. I wasn't sure, though, because I remember watching them after we did one of our podcasts. But if you got more themes cooked up, I definitely would love to take a look at those.
Yeah, I agree. Gamer Girl 2330. I used to do what Mary does, but a string of bad luck ended that. Wasn't professional, though. Hopefully Taylor is the way I want him to be and is the first cutie to not be thought of as overrated or hated and to not be forgotten about. Also, I said Taylor was like Brandon from Guatemala because they're on the same level of attractive to me. Okay.
Good. Was Gamer Girl referring to being a YouTube gamer or a ballerina? It's hard to tell.
I don't know. Maybe I think Gamer Girl sounds more like a ballerina than a video game player, correct?
It's tough.
Kyle Stone, Hannah's a perfect mix of Sophie and Shireen. There is no perfect mix as long as Shireen's in it.
I agree.
CC Trubiak, sorry, Will, I'm finding your assessments of Michelle and Rachel to be really rude. I get this segment is for you to share your thoughts and first assessments, but I couldn't appreciate the miss of you guys regarding these ladies.
You were the one that was all over Rachel. I don't know why.
I hated Rachel. That was all me.
There you go.
That was all me.
And I think my comment about Michelle was like, she can't win because her name's Michelle. There's not going to be a back-to-back winner with the same name. It's not going to happen.
Yeah. Gamer Girl 2330, I like this podcast. More happy, unlike the last one. See Taylor and Jay teaming up. This could be the next Fabio Benry and just be in the background and no one notices them but me. She's a huge Benry fan, so that works. Gideon Powers, all of their interviews, good amount seem religious or at least mentioned it. I'm somewhat religious, but I don't like when it comes into Survivor like South Pacific, of course.
That seems to be the consensus. So no one really wants religion mixing with Survivor. So
no. Connor Berry, for some reason, I can't remember which person it is, but one of the Gen Xers reminded me of Bubba from Vanuatu. It's definitely Chris. 100%.
Definitely.
Solomon Belay, David also wrote Malcolm in the Middle, one of my favorite TV shows. David's going to be interesting, I think.
He'll be fun. He'll be fun to watch until he gets voted out. He's not winning.
Yeah. Anthony Beam, I don't like Michelle on the Playboy model. I agree they seem really boring. And Zeke, I'm from, live in, and like New Jersey, especially the roller coaster at Six Flags Great Adventure. Also, Will likes Jesus and Reagan, so he'll be annoying me too, but I like everybody else, Hannah and the video game girl. Cool.
You're annoying? You're annoying if you like Jesus?
I guess, but Six Flags is dope, so he's right about that.
All right.
Raya 18260. I would love to see straight versus LGBTQ plus, not like slangs and shit, just to see it. I'm a bisexual woman married to another woman. I don't think they would ever do that.
Yeah, I don't think they do that. I mean, you could have said they'll never do race, and they're doing race. They would have to do. I don't know. That's a tough one. They could do lesbian, gay, bi, maybe. But then the trans people would feel left out, so probably can't do that without causing an uproar.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Tim McCormick, David is my favorite. Morgan Osborne, Will stepping up his video quality game. I did notice that, Will. You were very solid last week.
It's not up to me. It's up to the internet gods.
Yeah, so. You weren't good. We all suck tonight. I mean, it's not us. Stinky Eggs, have you guys really never heard of co-authored books like that before? I mean, really? Maybe Rachel's not the ditzy one here. I mean, I've definitely heard of a co-authored book. It's just like she didn't really like.
Yeah, it wasn't so much that anyone who co-authors a book is not, legitimate. Obviously, you can co-author a book, but when you do it with 8 other people and you come off as the way you came off, she was a Playboy model, right? Was that her?
I
was that
think
someone
so?
else?
Or was that Rachel? I don't know.
When a Playboy model writes a book and it's co-authored by other people, I don't know. There's part of me doesn't take it as seriously. And that's kind of what I was getting at. If you come on as an author and you've written 5 books all by yourself, that's different. That's all I was saying.
Okay. What's the next comment here? C Flap Flap. I did a YouTube video on Mary last week. I'm so happy a YouTuber gamer is in there. It'd be something for me too. Would you guys ever play Survivor? I mean, we've talked about it millions of times. We would definitely play. We've tried out. We just haven't made it.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna wait till I don't know what I'm gonna wait for. I gotta have something really cool going on. They only pick really cool people, it seems like, who are like, whoa, he's a whoa. Not like a
and we're not that.
Not yet.
Christian Storino, love the show, just newly subbed, and I already went back and watched all the rankings and off-season videos. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Keep spreading the word. We like to hear that.
Spread the good word.
Anthony Beam, after seeing all the videos, Sunday is Unbearable or Sarah Palin, Voice and Religion, This and Faith. That is so annoying. If she's a major character, she'll ruin the season. Cool.
Watch Fargo. Her voice will become way more bearable.
Yeah. And finally, last but not least, Anthony Beam. I think Hannah, Mary, Zeke, and Adam will align early, and David is going to be disliked by all the men on his tribe. I could definitely see David rubbing people the wrong way.
All right. I mean, I'm kind of with that. It's a David thing, but those are all the comments. Did you want to get to Twitter, or are we kind of wrapping up here?
We only have 2 Twitter comments. Tom Azenberg says, it's lit. You guys should make a Facebook page. And then Morgan says, Phil and Will are homework decisions.
Wow. Hopefully you picked Phil and Will. This is a nice little maintenance podcast. We got our bets. We have 16 bets locked down. We have comments now taken care of for our last 2 podcasts. So we're up to date on comments. Feels good. Taking care of business. Yeah. We'll be back Wednesday. Phil, anything you want to say?
No, that's it, man.
Okay. The official prop bet game will be ready on Wednesday. That's where you'll have to subscribe, make your entry. We'll be very clear on how you do all those things. And until then, please give us ideas for prop bets. We really like getting everybody involved. And we don't have any good ideas ourselves. So it helps us out. Thanks for listening.